welcome to this new edition of GM Web3 dedicated to MultiversX. I am very, very happy to be with you this morning. We'll speak about VibeOX, and we will be joined a bit later by the CEO of AI Nexus to find out more about the project. But first, I'd like to thank the partners of this show. First, of course, Atom, the lending borrowing protocol on Atom. And thanks to its intuitive interface, you can put your cryptos to work in total security. Note that they are a leader in liquid staking and have launched the first native stablecoin on MultiversX, the USH. Of course, you can find their useful links on description of the YouTube and podcast description. So yeah, feel free to go and check the platform. And thank you, Atom, for your support for more than a year now. Before we start and before I receive my guest of today, because we'll be a lot of us to speak about the topics today, I would like, of course, to remind you to like the Twitter space, to subscribe to our different socials like YouTube channel, notifications on. You can comment on the show, of course. If you want to ask your questions, feel free to interact. Feel free to note, subscribe. And yeah, thank you very much for this. So let's invite my first guest of today. It will be Chikapo. Hello, Chikapo. What's up? I can't hear you. Can you? No.
Okay, and now?
Now, yes.
Okay, so that was a bug about the mic. So how are you?
I'm doing very good, and you? It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm good too. Really busy, but still around building some cool stuff. So that's a pleasure to be here.
Tell to the audience, what do you do in a short?
Yeah, in a short plan, working with EOL partners to, let's say, democratize the Web3 onboarding and with some institution, and working effectively on Sensei at the moment with an alpha that will be dropped soon on MVX.
Okay.
That's it.
You know what? I will invite Joachim. Hello, Joachim. What's up?
Hello. How are you all? I see you not only got the free card, you got the free caps too yesterday, Jerome.
I will tell you about that. But just before, I wanted to make you jump because it's funny, like Sensei and Gopa, it's pretty much the same, a project that we heard about years ago. But actually, when?
Exactly.
Yeah, but we need some time to build quality, projects. So that's it. We are building in the background, but people will be able to use it soon, such as Gopa with an incredible feature nomad like Gopa logging. So waiting for it. And I know, Joachim, you're pissed because I'm telling you when the SDK will be available. But I know you're working on it.
Yeah. It's coming very, very soon. We'll discuss it with the whole VibeOX thing shortly.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, Joachim, for coming this morning. We'll receive Ionesco. Hello, Yo. How are you?
Hey, I'm fine. How are you guys? I'm happy to be here. It's been a long time.
Yes.
I can't even remember last time you were part of GM Web3.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I think it was maybe 1 year ago. 1 year ago, I think. But yeah, it's
good to have you
to be here. Yeah, happy to.
I think last time was for the big show I organized with more than 50.
Which one? Which one?
It was the big one, like a MVX show with more than 50 builders. I think
I think I came back after that for, I don't remember exactly, maybe Dr. X or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but anyway, I'm here today. That's what matters.
Not for the Mélenchon special.
No, unfortunately, it's not yet on, not yet live. I'm
Guys,
pretty sure it will come.
We are an international show, so nobody knows Mélenchon. UNESCO, what do you do?
What I'm doing, I'm still working for X cards. This is
What is
what
X-Card?
X card is the poker platform on MultiversX's, and the aim is to involve the community into the building of the platform, and we are hosting tournaments and cash game tables where a player can play with, of course, Eagle and ESDT, and
Right.
this is what we're doing on MultiversX.
Great. And you're the second most entertainment project on MultiversX, correct?
Fuck you first, then you, because Pepiamin is way more entertaining than we are.
Definitely. It's a pleasure to have you, my friend. And the last guest, not the last, will be joined by many more later. It's Sila. Sila, how are you?
Hey everyone, happy to be here. I'm a bit sick, so my voice may sound weird, but it's all good.
Yeah, the voice is okay, but I think the camera is a bit lagged. Um,
Yeah.
but anyway, tell us in a few words, what do you do, Sila?
Well, I'm building dApps. Either I'm working on a full stack component or just a front end to improve the user experience for any project.
Okay, sounds good. We can see in the chat guys saying, "As Benny always say soon." This is for Chikapo and Joachim. Guys, so thank you for being here this morning. I invited you to speak about VibeOX for many reasons. First of all, because I haven't tried the tool, so I will be completely honest with the audience. I haven't tried it. Of course, I followed the launch, the marketing around it, and the communication of the team and so on. So we'll speak about the launch, of course, but about the tool in itself. Of course, I read a lot of things and testimonies around it. But the best was to receive people who built, who tried the tool, and maybe some of you who are in touch with the team. So thank you again for coming. Maybe to start, and just write up in the private chat when you want to take the mic. My first question is after the 7 days countdown, do you think this tool, this app, I don't know how to call it, is a good news for the ecosystem? Yeah, just an open question for you. So UNESCO, let's go.
Yeah, I think it's a good news for many reasons. But the first one is that it's an incredible demo of the sovereign shards, and also the capability of the future supernova updates. So I think they could have done something liar. I mean, they could have made a demonstration in public showing how the sovereign shard was working, and they decided to do an open build where people are involved in this. So I think it's a very good news.
Okay, just before we say what is VibeOX, because maybe some people don't know, doesn't know yet, just to go back to the marketing campaign. Okay, Benjamin launched a very new countdown. Okay, of 7 days. So the expectation was low. Okay, because we are used to this kind of marketing, but they launched this VibeOX. It was a live stream, like a bit more like 1 hour and a half, and they were like broadcasting. They were like introducing this new app, new tool on live stream on YouTube and on X, I think. And yeah, two developers who worked on this. Please mute yourself when you don't speak because we can hear you typing, please. And yeah, so I'm really talking about how the community felt this announcement. Was it like disappointed, or on the contrary, it was well received by the community? Joachim wanted to say something.
Sure. So I think we can all agree that there is no need for countdowns ever. we've kind of been traumatized from that, so let's not do them anymore. Also, I think that but then I'm going to talk about the reaction of the community. Like, you start the countdown once everything is 1% ready. You can't and that is a dev's worst nightmare. And I know because I've been working with people like at the beach. Like, oh, you told me it would approximately be ready in a week. Then let's hit production in a week, and it's like, but what if something happens in the way? And I think something happens in the way, and we get back to that later on. But I actually think it was, as said, it was a very nice way of showing what is coming to MultiversX later on. So in as you said, like, we had the demo. I don't know if you remember the live demo for Sovereign Chains a bit over a year ago, which
It
but
was
where
long.
users,
It was very long. It was
yes,
more than
it was,
3 hours.
yeah, yeah, it was, and especially like the interesting part with the actual demo started like 45 minutes in. So yeah, it could have been much shorter. But anyway, so this is a much more hands-on way of testing the future of it, and then I'll make a comparison to another network later on. But yeah, I would say like, if people were expecting like a massive thing that like would pump EGLD by 10-folds, etc. No, but I think we need to lower expectations on that. I don't think like there's very few things that would make EGLD like perform incredibly, and I prefer small, and I'm gonna air quote small, wins like that show progress and that show innovation, than listed on new sex or stuff like that, which in
Mm,
reality is like short opium. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
yeah. Tikapo?
Yeah, we'll follow that, and that's great that they released this tool because for myself, Sovereign Chain is one of the last technology that keep me involved into MultiversX because on a technical point of view, it's really interesting. And then on the VibeOX, it gives the opportunity to every member of that community to have like a sandbox, a playground, to play with this kind of idea whatever it is, and get an APK from OpenAI or Anthropic for Claude and start to building his idea, even if they don't know everything about coding. And that's cool because in 2 clicks, they have the possibility to publish it and have it on chain. So yeah, we are waiting for V2 to have more feature such as Web3 real interaction. But by the way, at the moment, that's cool. That gives to MultiversX that position where they're stepping down from the Apple vision, like we
Mm,
control everything and we are not accessible, and you can deploy on that network if you are not validated. So that's great.
okay. Just staying on the launch part. After we'll of course introduce and speak about the different features, what is lacking, what is already live, and so on. Sila, as a builder, how did you welcome this news after this 7 days countdown?
Well, personally, I think it's a great news. It's a great tool for the community where everyone can be empowered and create their own ideas. Personally, this is how I started my web dev journey a few months ago. I started with Cursor, with Lovable, with Bolt, with tools like that allow no coders to create the ideas I want and to work on it. And I think what can be really the advantage of VibeOX and its unique selling point would be the connection with Web3. If we have everything that is no code and easy to access to launch the DApp, have a smart contract, create the transaction on the Vibe chain or on the Multiverse chain. If we have this Web3 interaction that is easily accessible for everyone, it can be really powerful to empower any community member and not just experimented dev. I know that for now it's harder to build a deep app where there are many components, many functionalities. But as we've seen the evolution of lovable tools and the likes over the last few months, it can be really powerful in 1 year, in 2 months. In the coming future, it can be really
We'll speak
really.
about the industry of cottage things. Really, I prepared some questions just to be sure the audience follow us. So if you just stay in the question I asked, please. But thank you, Saila. So feel free to, on the audience, of course, to tell us how you welcomed this news. Let's maybe try to introduce what is VibeOX in very simple words. If you guys, maybe one of you wants to share your screen to show what is it, how it works. I can mention Sila, who made a thread on X explaining step to step how to use. If Sila, you want to share the link of the thread, feel free, of course, to do it in the comment. Who wants to take this one? And explaining in a very accessible and simple words, what is VibeOX?
Sure, Chigabu, go ahead.
Okay.
Chicapo, you do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so just share your screen and I will accept it and I will display it.
Sure. Just let me get the thing up. And that's not the Explorer. Up. Yeah, give me two. Just to get on the website.
Sorry, it was not planned at all, but it's pretty much normal to show it.
But this is the building public idea, right? So this is how it's going.
Feel free to show your private keys too, of course.
I will not do that.
So okay, and you know what? I will hide all of us. So go ahead. Can you make it full screen?
I can try to. I can see my screen, so I don't know.
Okay, so I think it was better before.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go out and
thank you. Let's go.
Okay, so then this is the platform. So you have to log in with a new tool, let's say that they call the Passport. So the Passport is like an app already available on Android and iOS, where you will link your Google accounts, and that will help you to sign some transaction on the Sovereign, because the Vibe Sovereign is running on the background, and to log in and then to deploy and interact with application. So you just have to follow, let's say, the onboarding screen with all this information. Then you can find application. I will go, with a very large presentation, and after maybe if you have some sequences, I can show 2 or 3 things, Jerem, but let's make a general presentation. Then you have, like on your phone, on Android or iOS, let's say a marketplace. It's called the Vibe Store, when you can find application done and deployed by all the communities. You have access to the Vibe Studio. It's like an IDE. An IDE is like a code editor when you can start interacting with an agent to build your solution. And on the last part, that's it. Okay. So when you click on close that, you go directly into the Vibe Store, and there you can see all the application already developed and deployed by the community. And you have some option like get the implication, just to download and install it. After, you will have the remix button, just to start from that application, the starting point of the application, and customize it, maybe to build some other feature into it. You can share it directly on your social or like it. And this kind of metrics is available on the bottom of each card. You have by default the classic games. So there, let's say, put some games into the app so you can play with it. And the system apps like an Explorer, the wallets, and such basic app needed to explore it. So if I just give you a real quick tour about the Vibe Studio, you have to connect to your account. So I will do it. You just continue with your Google account. Get mine, don't get just an email address. Then that will give me input, and my phone is down. there. So you have to log in and confirm the transaction on the Vibe Passport. So at this moment, you receive a notification into your phone. Then you just have to accept this transaction, and I will do it when my phone will be put on. So I have to reset it at the moment, and you will have access to the Vibe coding tool. That will be yeah, but I have to wait. In fact, I have to wait 1 minute. So that's not a problem, by the way. So when it will be available, maybe someone will be able to display it, but my phone have to boot before accepting the application. After that, you will have, let me show you something else, the application already installed into your ecosystem. For myself, I have the one I've developed like an Explorer on the MultiversX's ecosystem. So it's open as a mobile app, but you can resize it to have the desktop version for every kind of application, and then you can interact with it. So that's just an Explorer that will fetch all the APIs available on MultiversX on the different kind of network, the mainnet, the devnet, and also the testnet with the live transaction. And then you have the possibility also to switch chain to get some stats about what VibeOX is running on, so the sovereign actually running in the background, and we get some statistic about it, and that's it. You can use the application like that. So that's the same process for every kind of application. You can develop it, vibe code it, then submit it to the store, and after that install it. Your application or application of others already available into the Vibe store. And let me see. Yeah, my phone has started. Just want to maybe let you show a quick tour about the Vibe coding environment. That's the main, let's say, major value proposition of the Vibe Studio. Okay, so let's get it. Does I get my notification? Come on, boys, do it. Okay, continue. Okay, the Google account. Okay, and then I have my notification.
Just guys, thank you, Tikapo, and just in the meantime, we can mention to the audience that for the moment, to access VibeOX, you need to have a test flight invitation code, correct?
For Apple, yeah, that's it.
For Apple, okay. So how to redeem this code?
For that, I don't have an iPhone. I'm using from Android, so I don't know if
Maybe
other guys.
someone else? Huh.
Yeah, yeah.
For the audience who would like to test and to try VibeOX, what's the process to get this code to try the tool?
I think UNESCO have
UNESCO, Joachim?
Yeah, there is a simple link that will bring you to a page where you can access the VibeOX. It's like an invitation link that you can find on the VibeOX Twitter and I think VibeOX Telegram too.
Okay. If you guys,
you don't always need a code for test flight.
No, you don't need a code, just a link.
Open links.
Yep.
Okay. Because I can see on my feed someone who's trying to test VibeOX, and it's there is a case saying enter your test flight invitation code. So if you guys can find this link, so we can share it in the comment if someone wants to try it.
Actually, the link is just it's given by the website when you try to access. It's VibeOX.ai, and there is a QR code that you need to flash with you.
Okay, that's the passport thing.
Exactly, and when you click on it, it will bring directly from your phone on the URL that allow you to install test flight for it. Even if test flight, you can find it on Apple Store. But as test flight is installed, you can install Vibe Passport.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Chikapo, you can continue if it's okay for you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the precision, guys. So you get into that part, so the Vibe Studio. So you will see something maybe you never saw before, like some crazy name like the Anthropic, the Cloud, etc. I will do a quick walk around into that. Thank you, Dave, for the comments. So you just have to set up, let's say, the company you want to use to. So you have to know to Vibe Code, you will need to get some calls to an AI, LLM, and for that, you will have to set up an API key. So you will choose the service you prefer to use. Anthropic is for Cloud. I will talk about the most common. DeepSeek is the Chinese one. Google is Gemini, and OpenAI is ChatGPT. Everybody know them. That's why, and that's enough. So with that, after you will have to choose the model you want to build with. So you can do a comparison or chat with ChatGPT to know what kind of model is better to code. I will recommend Anthropic and Claude, by the way. That's the best at the moment for coding stuff. Claude 4, by the way. And after that, you will have to set up an API key. So I will not edit it. You understand why. But for that, you will not have this message. You will have a message asking you to set up an API key. You click on it, and then you will be redirected directly into the Anthropic website to set up an API key. For that, you will have to charge your accounts with something like $5 or $10. That's enough to test something and have some credits. And then when your API key is charged with real money, you will be able to set up something and create an application into that. After, you just have to do something like I want to do new Explorer, for example, and then you click enter. Yeah, I don't know how to read, but don't worry. And then it will start the magic and build your solution. By the way, you can see something here called Superbase. That's a database services. So also you can set up that to make some retention of information, such as user notification, data the user will put into your application, and so on. Two other stuff really important. You can import folder into your computer. If you're already building something on your computer locally, you can click on that button, import it into the Vibe Studio, and then continue to build it into the Vibe Studio, or clone a Git repo. What it is, GitHub is like a cloud for the developer, where everybody is putting that code inside it to be able to have some backups and versioning of their code. And that's really important. And if you start your journey as a Vibe coder, I really tell you to set up to understand what is GitHub, how to make some versioning of your code, and then create a repo, a GitHub repository, and then be able to use it, because you will do a lot of stuff. The AI will generate a lot of stuff, and sometime in going into a mess, and you will be really, let's say, happy to have some backups, to do some rollbacks, and to have your code working great again. And if you see that, and maybe that's something they should, let's say, do a better top-notch UI, UX. Sorry?
No, I think it was my connection because I lost you a bit, but it was just me. It's okay. Feel free to.
Okay, no problem. At the bottom, at the Vibe Studio, you have some templates. So template is like a starter kit to work directly from something, to don't start from scratch, because everybody have like afraid of the blank page. So you can start for that. And you have the MultiversX's front end that is, let's say, the basic SDKD app to help you to have something with the MultiversX libraries, let's say that, with all the front end in React, to be able to start an application not from scratch. So you just have to click on it. It will install all the dependency of the basics thing. And after that, when the project will be launched, you will have the preview available, the preview of the code, so the template, the app, and there you just have to write what you want to do, and it will start to build in it and modify the code, and you will see it directly into the preview. And the diff, let's say, option there, it just show you the file the AI will have modified, and you will have to accept it or not. And I think that that's it for the main presentation. Maybe we can finish on that. When you will have something in the preview, this button will be activated. The first one will be to deploy it in S3, so Amazon buckets, to making hosted somewhere. And the second one will be to have it published in the Vibe store, like I showed you before, and you will have to sign a transaction to the Passports app to get it live. And I think that's it, guys.
Thank you very much. And I agree, it was better than the official presentation.
Sensei, that's it.
Just kidding.
Thank you,
Just
guys.
kidding. So thank you very much. What I propose you guys if is to who among you built anything, even if it's just a draft or anything, on VibeOX, and who would like to show what you were able to do with VibeOX, and also we can maybe go and show what other community members built, because as far as I know, there is like a library on which you can find all the dApps that were built through VibeOX this last days. So who wants to start showing us something like concrete, what we can do with VibeOX? UNESCO, you want to do this?
Well, I made a lot of tests, but I didn't publish anything because I haven't been satisfied by what I've made and satisfied by the tool actually. But I think we'll speak about it
Yeah,
later.
we will speak definitely.
So no, I haven't published anything useful.
Okay, so
I
who
won't
did?
be the good one.
I think we can showcase.
UNESCO, you said
Oh,
up,
Sila,
you
go
said
ahead.
not me.
I haven't set up. It was the previous
Oh,
question.
okay, my bad. Sorry. So yeah, Sila, you want to show something? So of course you can show your own tool, your own app, but also it would be great to show what others built. I saw some games. So yeah, share your screen, Sila, and show us what you built, and maybe we'll be able to answer Benjamin question. What have you built today?
Okay, so I'm sharing my screen. I hope it's not laggy.
Let me just resize it, maybe like this. Yeah, I think it's perfect now. Let's go.
Okay, great. So this is a dApp I've built fully on VibeOX. I'm working on another project that should be released today, but I started on VibeOX, then I took the code and polished it on Cursor. But this is something that is fully built on VibeOX, so this can be done by anyone with prompt. And I try to have a clean UI with a theme toggle, so you can easily swap between dark and clear. We also have the language that is managed here that can be changed at will, so everyone can access. And the goal was to create a dApp where you can easily give feedbacks about VibeOX in general. So you would simply go to give feedbacks, and currently it's not connected to the blockchain. But ideally, when the connection with the Vibe blockchain, the Vibe sovereign chain will be better, I will rework the dApp to have the transaction on chain. But basically, here is a mock test. So you would specify what kind of feedback you want to give. If it's about the UX, the interactivity, accessibility, currents, etc. Every category has subcategories associated, and then you can just give the feedback. For example, I love the vibe. I love the vibe, and then you would just submit, and it would be displayed. It would be created as an on-chain transaction, so it will be published on the blockchain, and all feedbacks would be accessible here, and you can just then easily find and understand what are the feedback from the community, what they like, what they don't like, with sorting depending on what has been produced. So basically, this is just a concept of what can be done easily in a few prompts. I think it was less than 10 prompts, while still having a nice UI, toggles, teams management, and more or less everything working.
Okay, thank
So
you. Joachim, you take the next step.
yes, the question from Dave Crypto, right?
Can you repeat?
The question from Dev Crypto, right?
No, no, actually, someone answered. But of course, you can answer Dav Crypto Bro question live. Yes.
Yeah, because I actually think it is a very important question, and I think it's very worthy noting, as the Tikapo answered on Twitch too. It's like the beauty of vibe coding, obviously, is that it allows you to produce code very quickly, very easily, etc. But there are certain things that, if you're not aware of, might put your, as Dev Crypto was saying, your API keys at risk or other. I'm going to explain very quickly. Basically, if you deploy a website which has no backend, so it's only a website, all the information that is stored, the images, the API keys, etc., can actually be found in the code. So what we tend to do is to have what is called a backend server, so another entity that communicates with the website through security, and that part takes care of everything that is sensitive. For so but for example, when you're using the API key in the Vibe Code Studio, there is no risk for that because that key just stays in Vibe Studio and it's not going to be published. But if you were to have, for example, an API solution on your Vibe coded tool, then you need to obfuscate your API keys. So I think this is like I'm going this is a great tool to get started and to start learning about those little quirks that you need to be aware of to keep moving. So I hope this answers your question.
I'm sure it does. UNESCO, you wanted to add something?
Yep, because this is a common problem for people using this kind of AI tools, and especially when you're not a dev, and this is a problem because you don't know exactly how it works, and you don't know exactly how to find a solution to hide and things like that. And most of the time, you get tricked or you get scammed because you think your product is cool, you published it, and then after people will use your API keys or private data you will put in your code. And today, the VibeOX code, and which is based on Bolt structure. Bolt is another website that allow you to create a website and app. Is even good for that because you can. I mean, you can write down your credit card in the code and publish it, and it won't cause any problem. I mean, people will get it, and you won't be warned by the app. But recent product that we can compare to is like Lovable app
It's not
today.
sorry, UNESCO. We will speak about the other solutions, the industry of Cogen and so on. But I would like now to,
Yeah,
or
just to show you why you can't today, but it will be able tomorrow.
yeah, okay. But I know you have many information to share, and thank you for that. But now I would like, if you agree, guys, to show more apps because I saw on Twitter and among our friends on private Telegram groups that you guys build things, or people that are not here with us build things, and it's live. So it will be interesting to show to the audience what can you build with VibeOX? Uh, but the solution pour la solution. Okay, so maybe someone have the links of the Dino Temple Run thing or different games. Is there a library on VibeOX so we can see all the apps that are live? I think it exists. This
It's the Vibe Store.
yeah, Vibe Store.
Yeah, I'm
Can
sharing my
someone
screen.
share the screen and show us this, please?
I'm sharing my screen. So,
Thank you.
so. Oh, by the way, did we talk about the streaming part?
You can stream on VibeOX?
So it's a bit the word is a bit confusing because you can't stream. It's not like abstract, but basically, there is no faucet compared to other like testnets, etc. And we'll talk about that in a bit. So if you want to earn Vibe token, you actually need to
Okay.
stream
It's
it.
mine. Actually, you mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Why did
Uh,
they call it stream? Because when we read stream, we want to stream ourselves.
because because to answer it, I'm not the one who decided the word, obviously, but like a stream of something is like something coming in constantly. That's a
It's
stream.
li-
Like a
it,
river is a stream of water. So
Yeah,
because
I
you
know.
receive it
I know
at
the
every
word,
block.
but
But I understand. I agree that it can
yeah,
be confusing.
definitely. But maybe it can be a new feature soon, because it's with Pump Fun, with Abstract, it became normal to stream when you launch something. So it would be great to add this feature to VibeOX. I don't know if it's in the plan, and if you guys know, keep it for the next part. I don't want leaks now. So Joachim, show us what have you built
So
today.
so I just built a quick thing during the stream, which was very stressful last week. Never again. Um,
Okay.
but like as you can see, if you click on this little guy on the top right here, you get to see the most trending apps in the period. So for example, we have Dinner Run here. Not
How
sure what
many
it's called.
apps were published since the launch? Can we see how many?
So I'm not sure if I can kind of like
Can you scroll? Okay,
do,
okay, okay,
yeah.
okay. Great. Okay, okay.
So
So
we'll go to the versioning, etc., of the apps in a bit. But as you said, let's talk about let's showcase
yeah,
some apps.
show us
So
some games. I saw
so
maybe, yeah, this one was very cool. Can you play? So it was so you confirm, because it's Kevin from Dinovox who built it. So can you confirm that this game were 100% built with VibeOX, or it was necessary to be a developer to fix things, to add things and so on?
So, I've from what I believe I've read and talked with Kevin, it's fully coded with Vibe Studio. Um, Obviously, being a developer helps you because you're able to see errors or like improvements, or even like go into the code and change stuff underway. So I'm not sure if everything was prompted or if you actually went in and changed some stuff. So, for example, for importing the files, obviously you need to pinpoint to them,
Someone
etc.
in, uh,
Um,
someone in the comments said it's not the last version, Joachim.
okay, let me
Are we
go
talking
back to
about
the
five
store.
or I know?
No Dino probably. Yeah, there we go.
Okay, so
Thank
you
you,
will
chat.
play. You will play. So
Yes,
the whole Europe is watching you. So
I know,
be.
I know. Very stressful. Uh, Dinner Run 2.0 is not. Oh, there we go. No, it's not booting for me. So I'm gonna show the original version, the OG version, because I have
Okay, launch the previous one. We don't care. We
yeah.
just want to see that it's possible to launch a game with VibeOX.
Let me just close your apps. There we go.
Okay, be good.
Yeah, the pressure is
Okay,
here.
there is no music.
Wait, I might have turned it off. I'm not sure if there is a music. I think that was a chest. I think I was supposed to grab that. I think those are chests.
Yeah, normally you should take the
Yeah,
chest.
there
not
we
to
go.
Avoid them. It's very cool. Very cool. But yeah, definitely it's not the last version. I think the last version.
No, yeah, I'm not sure why it's not loading.
But it's
Let
okay.
me-
It's okay. We can see that it works. Is there any other games that we can play? I saw like a 2048 game or something like
Yes,
that.
that looked actually quite fun. I haven't tried it.
Can you?
It was something. It was something 69.
Oh, well, yeah. Of course, it was a 2048, but with a 69. Of course, because it was made by Pipiamin, the most entertainment guy in MultiversX's, correct?
Of course. And yeah, the annoying thing is, from what I understand, is that this thing actually changes position from time to time. So yeah, I'm absolutely doing terrible stuff right now. But anyway, yeah. So if you know what's the regular number, 2048, right? So it's
Yeah.
2048, but you go to 69, so there's some decimals here. But every 5 seconds it changes.
Okay, I think we got it.
That's
Is
that.
there
And
anything?
Pepiamin also created, which is quite fun, is the VRC. So there's actually a chat where you can chat with other people, but there's no one else connected right now.
Okay.
So, and that was quite fun. We were there when Pepiamin launched it with Boo Boo, and like we kind of like he improved the security and the features as we were going through, because like there you go, Sila connected. And basically we could, because basically you can change name, and like at the time you could change names to the name of someone else and be connected as the same person, etc. So like that's I think that's the beauty of it. Like you learn the intricacies of coding at the same time, and probably security things you wouldn't think about before. I'm trying to think if there's another fun app. I've been quite busy building stuff for like around Vibe Studio and VibeOS. So I'm not the most. I think there's a blackjack. I'm saying that I've already installed it. So you can actually.
Did you do it, UNESCO, the blackjack?
It's not mine, but I tried it yet.
Okay.
And it's quite it's simple and yet so and you can see that we can. I think the prompter is German. So yeah, make sure when you prompt, if you don't prompt in English or in language you want the app to be, make sure that you tell him to translate everything to it, because he has a tendency to go to for the language you
Okay.
talk to. But yeah, so you can create apps super easily.
For
Then
the
you can see
moment,
the trendings.
for the moment, it's anyway very very primary, very low quality, as I can see. It's not the design is not great. The features are very very limited. No.
You talk for the individual apps.
I mean, yes. What I just saw,
Yeah.
it's not amazing.
So I think it has to be seen as two things. First of all, it's a playground, right? It's I've I think in the developer chat and in the there's their own chat, support chat for VibeOX. There's a lot of people who had never coded before, who've been part of the community, who was like, this is actually a good way to get started, and it got them curious. It got them so like, no, they're not going to code the DApp of the future on VibeOX yet, at least. But it's a new fun way to create stuff, because like for a lot of us who started coding before the whole AI explosion, we would do YouTube tutorials. We would do it for ourselves. Maybe send to a friend in the chat if we were proud of what we had achieved or whatever. Like it was a very individual experience. While the beauty of prompting is that like you get actually a result much quicker than we would do when we had to code everything ourselves. But also, as you can publish it and share it, and the whole MultiversX community can see your app, tip you, save it, showcase it, etc. So there is this like building together, even if we're not building incredible apps. And Sila just said he pushed something on the store, so I'm going to check. I think I'm still sharing my screen if need be. Is what's the art?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I need to know a ticker.
Yeah, so some cards should be displayed as well, but I've seen maybe the cache is not updated, or I didn't took the latest version.
I mean, since we're talking Dino, I'm just going to go for a Dino ticker. Which underscore Dino? What are they called? What's the picture?
Or you can use this one. I'm
Guys,
sending you in the chat.
we are live.
Yes, and we're experimenting. That's the whole purpose of.
Yeah, but we're not on a one hour and a half live stream
There we
of
go.
MultiversX. Okay, thank you. So what is
Yeah.
it? What's hard? What is it, like an NFT displayer? What is it?
Yeah, exactly. So basically, when you type
Okay.
a ticker, it should display
Yeah,
the
I
whole
I
collection.
think it's struggling a little bit to.
Okay.
If you're using the endpoint of MultiversX to fetch them.
Did you connect with Export Lite or X2X or do you stay on chain? Because I think visuals are not necessarily on chain.
No, but
Yeah, as I used the MultiversX API, and when I tried on Vibe Studio, it was working well. So I don't know why in the store it didn't work.
It's
I've
not a
sent
problem. Okay, let's move on, guys.
I'll explain to you later.
Okay, now we saw some apps. Okay, it's let's maybe precise to the audience that VibeOX is only 1 week.
Not even.
So we can understand that for now it's just the beginning. Let's focus on the features at the moment. So what can we do and what can't we do? And after we'll speak about what's planned for the next weeks or month. Who wants to take this? Because as far as I know, it's a public beta version. We cannot really interact with ESDTs. Yeah, so UNESCO, let's go.
It's an alpha. I think I get this from the builders. It's not a beta. That's what was
What's the
said to me.
difference between alpha and beta for those who are listening?
That's a good question. Honestly,
Because for me, it's a beta public because it's public, and in January, alpha is private, and beta it can be public.
I think we can discuss later about this because it's important for them to say that it's a built-in public project. It's something pretty trending nowadays to build totally a project in public, and that's what I want to do at this point. But difference between alpha and beta is that I think the beta will come in the few coming weeks. But yeah, what you can do today to answer your question is to build any app that will work on the internet on the web page. And I will speak with non-dev words because, guys, you all of you're dev and I'm not. So please correct me if I'm wrong. But today it's pretty hard to get ESDT involved in the process of this kind of app. You can do some transaction of the blockchain, but it's pretty hard to get a payment in ESDT, for example, or to make transaction of ESDT from users. Especially because we are in like a devnet, I think, or testnet. But yeah. Sorry, I was reading. No, it says I was reading. I said, "What the fuck is coming in the private chat now?"
Okay, normally the private chat is just say up on up. Okay, so guys, please stop talking. Because...
Yeah, why you're sending a lot of dick pics, Jeremy? I don't get it. Yeah, no, let me focus, please.
Now you know why you never come on GM Web3.
No, there is also some issues that are linked with Bolt integration. I mean, Bolt isn't perfect, and so for example, there is no versioning. The versioning is very useful.
About this, UNESCO, it's interesting. I received a message in private this week. Someone saying, "Okay, VibeOX is just like Bolt, just a copy of Bolt." So it's so disappointing. You know, there are always people that are complaining.
Sure. Yeah.
So what do you think? Is it just a Bolt-like thing, or is it a bit more? So tell us about Bolt. What is Bolt?
Yeah. No, you can complain about that because it's not a full custom dev tool, But the thing is that VibeOX is not only the Vibe Studio; it's all what is around. I mean, it's working on the sovereign chain. It has its own blockchain. So this part is insane when you keep it in mind. The second part is that it's working with all the MultiversX's technology. I mean, charting, and it's very fast. This is the good point. Then the Vibe Studio tool, which is only a part of what VibeOX, is today it's Bolt, but with some learning from MultiversX's code. So Bolt has been trained to answer a question more linked to MultiversX. And yes, it's not perfect because Bolt is not perfect, but it's a good start. I mean, the main idea of the builders behind the VibeOX was, okay, we can wait 3 more months, and so it will be very, very nice, and everybody will come. And they said, okay, what if we launch it now with all the defaults, but to show people a first version of what we are building? And so we will have some feedback from people about what is cool, what is not, what is working, what is not, and we will make it evolve in the good direction, listening to people. Because many times, you're building in your corner, and you don't listen to community or to people, and you think what you're doing is the best solution because you have your bias and things like that.
Yes,
So,
but I think code gene is not new. You know there are so many different code gene things, Web 2 and Web 3. So it's not, in my opinion, very difficult to propose a solution that will like fulfill the standard of what is expecting of a code genius thing. And after you can ask from the community what we can add, what we can improve. So when you
but
deliver something that low, of course, you use marketing, you use words, you use time for something that is pretty low. So why not launching something a bit more evolved, a bit more complete, and it doesn't avoid you from improving the solution with the community? UNESCO, if you want to answer, and after Joachim.
uh, because I don't think Bolt is low, I think Bolt is pretty standard, I would say, and also
No,
it's
it's
depending
not
of.
even bold.
Sorry.
It is
You
both.
you said it's not even bold. It's way lower than bold.
No. I said that. Or
I
maybe
mean, this is what I understood. It's not
No,
no,
even.
no,
no,
it
no.
didn't say that.
Okay, no, it's bold, but improved, I would say, because he learned from MultiversX and from the blockchain
But
to
there's
escape.
no versioning, you said.
It's not what?
There's no versioning, you said.
Yeah, but Bolt hasn't versioning.
Really?
Yeah. Bolt is not the perfect solution. It's a good one, I would say, to start. And I started on Bolt. Then I discover other solutions that are better. But the other thing is the result you will have will also fully depends on what AI you will choose. And you see, Tikapo showed us when you start to choose if you want to use OpenAI, ChatGPT, or if you want to use Anthropic, and if you choose the default one, which is OpenAI, you will have, I would say, poor results. But if you pay for an API like Anthropic and you start to use cloud, you will have better results. And this is also important to say that it can't be full free for people. If someone want to try to code something, I think he should uh, pay for to use a model. I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
Joachim, so what about the current features? Maybe if you want to add anything about that. And what is lacking? Something like very concrete that
Yep.
will make building app possible.
So I'm just going to go a bit back to the Vibe Studio, which is Bolt DUI, which is the open source version of Bolt. The important thing to realize, and I think that is something that like people are a bit quick to jump to conclusion, is like in development in general, like I would say like 90% of the code that is like from other open source things. Like we don't rebuild everything from scratch every time we create a product. We use libraries. they decided to go for Bolt DUI, which I think is a great solution, because I'm not sure if Lovable actually has an open source MIT license solution. If you know that, Ionesco, please say it. But as Ionesco said, they've added features on top of it, and yes, the version isn't perfect. And the thing is, like, even those tools require, as I think it was Sila or Chigapo said, GitHub, Superbase is the default database connection. So, like, if you really want to use it as its fullest, you need to actually start digging on other services that work with it. So to get something quick and easy started, like with the apps we've shown, you can do that instantly. For further, you're gonna need to get a bit more curious. So yeah, GM not says that Lovable is not open source at all. So yeah, I think Bolt DUI is actually a good thing. And congrats to Bolt, kudos to Bolt for actually making a version of the app open source, because we need more open source. So the features that are lacking, I would say, is so there's a bit of like maintenance and ordering of the store, etc., that needs to be improved. So the interesting part is when you deploy an app, to keep it simple, you deploy it to AWS and then you mint an NFT of your app. And that NFT has information to say what information you should display. There's improvements that can be done in the versioning because, for example, as we were showing with the Dino, there's two versions of the Dino. There's the OG version and the new version. And so there's improvements that need to be made in the versioning, so you can like rename an app, etc., which I'm hoping to see in the future. And what did we say, Jim, about not spamming the chat and just saying app? I can just see messages popping up the one after the other. Anyway, and so the other part I would say is the login method, and here is going to be self-promotion with Gapa login. But I think to attract people, external people, to this solution, that if you've seen, like, it has the MultiversX branding, but like it doesn't require exportal, it doesn't require you to have EGLD. You can start streaming or mining Vibe straight away and get started. We need a simple login. So that's where we're going to come in with Garpa login and offer email, Twitter, TikTok, and Google login for users. So you can just come straight to the website and connect and get started. So that's been my focus. That's why I don't have apps on the Vibe store. It's because I've been focusing actually. So I think that is one of the big milestones for making it accessible. And then it's going to be, so this is pure speculation, and like I've been talking with the team, obviously, but like the interesting part, and that's where you were talking about the alpha part and if it really should have been released like it is. Like I think that CodeGen working on a separate network that is not obviously the mainnet because of the security premises it entails is a very good thing. It's like it's separate experimental blockchain that goes so much faster and is the future of what MultiversX is going to be. But to take it a step further, I think it's very interesting because on a testnet or a devnet, we have faucets. So every day you can click on a button and you receive five fake GLDs. And if you have scripts, etc., you can receive far more than that. Like validators, for example, have thousands to test validation. And what it allows is that I see a little bit like Kusama. So I'm going to explain very quickly what Kusama is. Kusama is the canary network of Polkadot. What is a canary network? So it's similar to a testnet because it has the features that are going to come to Polkadot before they come to Polkadot. So for example, they had the parachains before they were live on Polkadot. But the token, which is the Kusama token, actually has a monetary value, actually has an economy around it. And I think this is fascinating, very interesting, because what they're saying in the tests for the Canary network is that people are not incentivized to go on the testnet and the devnet to try the new features, to try new apps, etc., because there is no monetary ecosystem around it. So they said, actually, let's make it different. We're going to make a test network, an experimental network, where there is economical incentives and where your projects can incentivize you to participate, etc. And it was even a time where the Kusama network was more active than Polkadot itself, because there was the excitement of parachain. So I'm not saying that the Vibe is going to be worth anything in the future. I don't know, and I think we're going to see how things evolve. But it has similar premises, and so we'll see how it evolves from there.
Thank you, Joachim. Maybe Tikapo and Sila, what do you think about the live features? What is lacking to be like a bit more complete? So what's if you want to add anything to what just said?
Yeah, I will go first. Pretty agree with Joachim. By the way, it's great to have a sandbox environment and give the key to have the people going to zero from one and start building things. That's it. Even if that's just creepy games, if that's just a creepy dashboard and so on, we don't care. Just an experimentation phase. That's okay. After for that, what's lacking at the moment, and you know it because I told that at the beginning of the show, it's onboarding solution like Gopa login and blockchain interaction. Right it in the tool. That's the, let's say, main feature at the moment that's missing. And after that, I think we will see a lot of application popping with a lot of buggy apps. Okay, but people will experiment and maybe have this virus that all coder, all developer have to build some stuff, have a lot of idea, and try to concretize the idea. So that's a good, let's say, not momentum, but a movement for the MVX community to iterate and experiment things. So yeah, I wish to have a V2 with more version, but blockchain also, let's say, feature. That's my main mantra at the moment.
Sila,
Can I jump very quickly in here?
I want
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
would want to
Okay,
add anything, and after let's try to get some leaks if you guys have. And after, I would like also to speak about what impact on MultiversX in general. So, Sila, about the features, what do you think?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with what being said. I like the tool as it is, but there are three important factors to improve. First is onboarding to allow anyone to access it and in a much easier way because many were stuck, were not downloading the app or else. Second is the versioning and the management of what you're building, because sometimes it's not responding, or the changes you've made are not saved, or things like that. And finally, the connection with the Web3 to easily have the TX for your game or for your tool or anything to be processed on-chain and with the authentication, with the management, with the database, everything can be, if needed, on-chain and easier.
Very clear. Thank you very much, guys. Of course, during the next GM Web3, we will speak about the progresses of VibeOX, and maybe we'll have the team in the show. To be completely transparent with you, I of course invited VibeOX to join us this morning, but they want to wait a bit more before coming on GM Web3 because they don't do podcast, but they do podcast. But they will come. So what can we expect from the next releases? Do you guys have any leaks, alphas, I don't know, to share with the community?
Yeah, I think a good point we have to say is that they're working hard on the V2 of the Vibe Studio, and the V2 will be very different from the V1. First, because it won't rely on bulk like today, and it will be a fully custom version of the studio. So it will run with Linux containers in the back. So it's an opportunity for everyone to compile and build smart contracts in Rust, in Swift, in Solidity, in Move, and so on. So it will be a huge step, I think, and it's not so far from here. So I can't wait to see exactly what they will deliver. And the second part is that they will try to bring support for MultiversX's native deployment directly with Vibe Studio V2. So you will be able to generate your DApp and deploy it directly on MultiversX and not on the DevNet like today. I think it's huge.
Yes, it is. It is because the ambition of VibeOX seem to be cross-chain, enabling like anyone from any language and any blockchain to build. So yeah, it's very cool. Do you know, guys, any other Web3 card gene on other blockchain that could compete with VibeOX or VibeOX could compete with? Do you know?
No, not from the. I'm trying to think from top of my head. There's obviously great tooling on other chains like Open Zeppelin, etc. But I'm trying to think AI generated. Again, the issue for me is that like if it was for production apps on a mainnet, I wouldn't trust an app coded fully with Bolton with no like security and developer knowledge. As of now, that might change. So I think again, like I see it more as like a pedagogical and entertainment tool more than again the massive dApps of tomorrow. But yeah, to go very quickly on the future of the apps and the interaction with the blockchain, that is something that to be very transparent, I've been discussing openly with the team behind it. So as UNESCO said, the 2 main guys, and they're working like constantly. Every time I send a message, they seem to be up, and I have weird sleeping hours, so I'm not sure when they sleep. So I'm actually very excited about what is to come. I think if they're given the right means, and I mean there was a freaking billboard in Times Square, so I want to believe that not the whole budget was spent there. I hope. So yeah, no, I'm actually quite bullish on it. Go ahead, Yo.
Yeah, I think we have to to precise that there are two on it. I mean, you can think at the beginning, I thought, okay, there is a big part of the MultiversX team working on VibeOX, and this is not true. There are 2 guys working on this, and I think it's crazy because the product is cool, and MultiversX is pushing it a lot, but it's only the work of 2 people, which are me, I, and Alexandru Luciopu and Andrei Giola. Sorry for the pronunciation. I think we can shout out the work of those guys.
Yeah, definitely it's important to spotlight these guys who are working very hard to release this. Maybe let's speak about what happened in New York, where Benjamin made like a video, and they displayed VibeOX at I think it was Times Square, I think, yeah, on the digital screens. Do you think it was appropriate? Do you think it was not too early? Because actually the solution at the moment is completely beta, alpha, omega, I don't know, but it's not ready to be used by anyone except just to try the thing, but not to really build something complete. So what do you think about this marketing campaign? Yeah, UNESCO?
Yeah, I feel it's pretty inappropriate, honestly. I haven't speak with the VibeOX team about it, but I'm 100% sure it's a lot of pressure on their shoulders, and I don't know if they were okay with that, but I know they're not ready to. The thing is that it's what I said earlier. They're ready to build in public because they like it and they want the community involved in it, and I think it's cool because it's a good thing. But now, as it has been exposed in public by Benjamin, like a finished product, because at no moment he say that it's an experiment
You're right.
with the community. It just say, okay,
It's
here's
live.
VibeOX,
They
it's live.
say it's live. Yes.
Uh,
You're right. Not
I,
just Benjamin, to be honest. Like Robert, Lucian, everybody said it's live. So we had to figure out that it was just a beta, public beta version, and we discovered it. So of course, it can create some frustration
because
from the
because
dev and from
yeah,
the.
because excuse me, because of, I think, and this is where we may be a little bit confused. I think the main product in VibeOX is not Vibe Studio. I think the main product, the main thing they want to show is the sovereign shade and the supernova. And at this point, the sovereign shade and the supernova are live, and it's working great, and I haven't seen any issue with it. So if it's the thing they want to show, it's perfect. Okay, it's live. The sovereign shade is live. Supernova is working great, and there is another point is the Vibe Studio inside, and the Vibe Studio isn't ready, of course. It's in alpha, so maybe there is some confusion between and this.
What you say is very interesting because we haven't talked about it before, but it's very important, definitely, that VibeOX is actually working on its own sovereign chain, and it's like empowered by Supernova. So what will happen on MultiversX's mainnet by the end of the year? So it's like a proof of concept that it is possible to launch a sovereign chain. It's working, and the Supernova, if you want to know how it will look on mainnet, you can already see it on this sovereign chain. So in this regard, definitely it's interesting. But as you said, it was not communicating as this. It was communicating as we are launching a Web3 card gene, and it's live. So it's always a matter of communication, actually. Sila, you wanted to say something.
Yeah, it was about the communication. I think the marketing was done a bit too earlier because, for example, the publicity, the ad on Times Square. If some people saw it and directly wanted to try the tool, they could fail at downloading the app. They could fail later. There are several steps where it's harder to onboard on the tool. And I think the main marketing effort should have been done only when this accessibility is easy for everyone. Because now the first impression of some people could be that it's not working, that it's too hard to access, that it's laggy, it's anything. And I think it would have been better to start with something like a closed beta with more developers to give the feedbacks, to give the first reviews of what it is, and only once it would be a bit improved, the application would be available on Play Store and App Store. Only at that time it would be released publicly, it would be marketing, it would be showcased everywhere, and that would have a bigger impact because from day one, the users would have a really good onboarding process, while now it's a bit hazardous.
You said that it would have been better if they did it in a closed beta. I must disagree because I think it's very, very nice to do it in public like they did. But I agree with you. You should not push it like this with marketing because it's still in beta or alpha or anything.
I
But
think
Yeah, the building public process is really good and really important, and I think that was key in Lovable success. But I was just saying that some 2 weeks, for example, of a closed beta with developers, with people, before showing it to everyone as it is now.
yes, but in that case, we would have had a 3 weeks countdown, guys. Um,
Yeah, the more the merrier.
yeah, but you know what I mean. I think maybe it was planned, but when Benjamin launched the countdown, we had to release. Anyway, yeah, but what is interesting in this ad, in this video, is they're not really announcing. Yeah, they are of course spotlighting VibeOX on Times Square and so on, but it's also like US chapter begins. This is something interesting because I thought US chapter began last year. So actually seems like it's beginning again. So what's this communication reveal about the ambition of MultiversX in the United States? I mean, are you bullish about new announcement, progress in the fundraise, partnerships, or do you think it's just the beginning of VibeOX in the US with an incomplete version? What do you think about this? And after more leaks, I heard. Tikapo, for example, about the marketing, you haven't said nothing, I think.
Yeah, because I'm not really a marketing guy. I already, let's say, have some difficulties with the Multiversix marketing, but we will not redo the debate with Adam Bates, with Benny, and so on. Right now, they are starting something else. We have the impression that they want to manage all the marketing by themselves, meaning telling stories and stick to it, but making heard by the lot of voices about the community or the core member of the team. I will say why not. I'm pretty agree about the billboard the show about VibeOX was not the perfect momentum to do it for the reason Sila already detailed. By the way, we don't know really what's coming. There seems to have something, I will not say something big because I don't want to make the people bullish for nothing, lower your expectation, we'll say that. But by the way, it's really important to keep in mind this is a network that achieve a lot of things with no million of thousands of millions of dollars. They are in discussion with some funds. We know that. The network is evolving on a technical point, and the let's say the core of the VibeOX is the sovereign, and it's an exposition to the sovereign. And like for me, I see that like an acquisition. That's the link magnet that put the curiosity into the tool, and then when you want to deploy, you saw let's say the engine working under that, and you can deploy everywhere with less friction. So that kind of strategy could pay because I don't see something like this into the ecosystem. But you have to be very, let's say, cautious to don't overpromise or going too fast in the marketing with a product that's not really fully complete. So yeah, don't put so much pressure on the guys working on VibeOX. Let's see the V2 and what we are capable of when it will be realized. And then if we can do something that showcase the power of the tool you've done because you are tech guys. So if you want to people be onboarded and use it, be sure they are working great. And after that, do all the marketing you want to make them try it through VibeOX. So with that kind of strategy, I will be full aligned, but I want to see if this is the plan and the path they want to follow. I don't know.
Thank you very much, Tikapo. I just watched the last video of Benjamin. I don't know if you watched it. It was yesterday, and he's saying that yeah, he's playing in big leagues, and now it's time to marketing because he released the two main upgrades, so Supernova and VibeOX, and now he said it's time to marketing, and he said something is it's time to make many experiments. Okay. Thank you guys. Let's maybe talk for 5 minutes, a bit more if needed, about the potential impact of VibeOX on MultiversX. And what is interesting is I just need to display this comment from Dav. It's perfect. So, how VibeOX and apps use shard and blockchain transactions, how this tool can increase the blockchain usage and fees collected on chain or on chain transactions mandatory. So, guys, feel free to answer this question and maybe above all, what could be VibeOX impact on MultiversX ecosystem to attract, I don't know, like developers, builders, investors, what an ecosystem needs to succeed. UNESCO, you wanted to start.
Yeah, I think we answered our friend earlier about the transaction. I mean, today you're not. It's not mandatory to have a blockchain on-chain app with VibeOX. You can do anything on like a web app or thing like that. But you can add this kind of blockchain interaction, and it will be easier with Studio V2, which is coming in the few weeks or few days. I don't know exactly, and it will change things a lot because from a classic Bolt app, you will be able to make smart contracts, and uh, it's I think it's very important for the MultiversX's adoption because, and it's also what I want to add earlier is that they're working on integrating X money in Vibe codes, and
Yeah.
it will be huge because basically you will be able to create a dApp with full abstraction uh, thanks to Gopa login. So I mean, you will be able to log with Gmail or TikTok or anything, and to interact with a dApp where you can only use your credit card, and maybe you won't see anything about blockchain on it. You won't speak about cryptocurrency. You won't speak about transaction, and you will have a service or anything I don't know uh, on the blockchain on something fully transparent, but without speaking of cryptocurrency and blockchain. And I think in the future of adoption, it's not very innovative to say that, but abstraction will be very useful in the future. And this is the perfect product to make it fully abstract.
Thank
So
you very much, UNESCO, for this. So, if I summarize the different alpha that you came with, we can say that soon it will be possible to use VibeOX with different languages. So, EVM and maybe from other blockchains too. And the upcoming integration of X Money in VibeOX to enable fiat on ramp and off ramp mainly. Is there anything that you want to share from your chat with the team, or are we good?
Yeah, I said earlier that it will the video will integrate Rust, Swift, Solidity, Move, and so on. And so most of you have understand what it means. It means that it will be fully cross-chain, and of course, it's a target of this kind of product. We won't stay on MultiversX, and you will be able to create a dApp for, I would say, any EVM blockchain. And this is also a good way to bring people on this ecosystem.
Thank you very much. I would like to, I don't know if I want to put trust and connect wallet, manage real money on Vibe coded apps. What about the audits of these apps? It's an interesting question. Is it completely relying on the developers? Because what will prevent some like scammy or I don't know, like some hacks to be built on Vibe, and how will VibeOX team will I don't like prevent from this on the library, for example? Do you have any information about this?
So, I'll give my opinion. So there's no obviously like auditing code etc. is way too complicated. It is what to do it at that scale, and it is what, for example, the abstract chain does because of how they use wallet abstraction etc. But anyway, different topic. There's two things. First of all, ESDT token standard, right? There is no allow all. There is no those things that we would say on EVM that could completely drain your wallet. Secondly, and this is just potentially, it's something that we're discussing and might be implemented, but there is no guarantee on that, is what I call container wallets. That basically, using GAPA login, when you log into an app, basically there's a new wallet that is created specifically for that app and that user. So the risk is only limited to that wallet, that app that is shared between the app and the user, because it allows for two things. One, if the person who deployed the app is a bad actor, that's only that wallet and that's it, and whatever was in that wallet. Secondly, if it allows you to do abstracted transactions, because the problem with a regular wallet, the main wallet we have, is that we have to sign all the messages, all the transactions, etc., and it offers a very poor experience. Let's say you're playing a video game, and like each time you interact with a merchant in the video game, you have to approve a transaction on your phone. Like it's way too much friction. So the purpose of those containerized wallets is that you can give certain rights to the dApp. So for example, you have gold coins in the game. You can allow the dApp to make transactions back and forth of gold without you having to sign every one of them. And so you can have a good game experience limited inside one wallet that is purposely created for that, and remove all the friction. And then obviously, if you want to withdraw your gold or top up your gold, etc., you then interact with your main wallet. So that is how we're seeing it with Gappa Login. I think that is the best compromise between security and abstraction. And that's what we're hoping to implement for every app that wants to use Web3 features on the Vibe chain.
Thank you very much. Okay, we are out of time, and I would like to receive our guest, but it's okay. We will speak about the potential impact on MultiversX in general with him. So let's welcome Mihai. Hello, Mihai. Can you listen to us?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, but we can't see you.
Wait, what's happening? What's happening? 1 second.
Okay.
All right, here you go. Here you go.
Yeah.
My bad.
Perfect.
I had the wrong settings.
How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you guys? I was listening to you for the past 20 minutes. I was a bit busy with something. I don't want to initiate a countdown. But there is a countdown happening today. That's all I'm gonna say. Internally.
On AI Nexus?
Yeah, on AI Nexus. On AI Nexus. I should mention not multiverse. It just
How long? How long the countdown?
18 hours. That's
okay.
It's
Great.
Hours. So it's the shortest countdown that you've ever seen in this ecosystem.
Amazing. So before we speak about AI Nexus, and thank you for coming this morning, Mihai, what's your take on VibeOX? Have you tried it? What do you think? Do you think it's an interesting tool for MultiversX ecosystem? And in what way do you think it can have a positive impact on MultiversX, on transactions, maybe on the EGLD price? And after I will let my other guest answer, but you first, because I think we heard them too much now.
No, I think they made very very valid points. I was listening to again. I missed the first part of the conversation, but you guys did a great job in explaining how it should work. I have tried it, but not a lot because of the said countdown. I was like 100% focused on finalizing what we're about to announce. So I only played with it for maybe 30 minutes. I just had a look. I love the vibe of the VibeOX website. I do think still, for me as a Web 2 semi-Web 3 person, it's still a bit maybe not as intuitive as I would like it to be. But maybe for the Web 3 only guys, it is. I absolutely love the idea. Obviously, we're in the AI field, and my main purpose with AI Nexus was to allow non-coders, non-devs, non-artists to create results that devs and artists would normally take weeks or months to create, and now you can do it in maybe minutes if you know how to write your prompts. So I absolutely love the and I welcome the VibeOX addition. Yeah, I was hearing you guys talk about marketing. Maybe it was too early, but I don't really know. Like I think I think the MultiversX team was super excited about this, and they just wanted to bring it out as fast as possible. I love the idea of building in public as well. We're doing that on our browser app. We're making a lot of mistakes. Sometimes we're rushing things, but I think that's like the definition of BIP. So it's normal. I think it's a very welcome addition to MultiversX. Again, from my perspective, I mostly see things from my Web2 background and from my AI and gamification interests. Maybe I don't understand all the subtle things about the Web3 and the blockchain aspects yet. I'm trying to learn. But I think this is like a very nice portal to bring people who have no coding experience or no app development experience and just have something that's intuitive. Again, it could be done maybe a bit more intuitive, but I think it's a pretty good job considering, like you guys mentioned, it's a two-man team, and this probably took like a short amount of time to put together. I know there was a lot of effort, but it's not like they took 3 years to build this, and then it's not quite up there. And again, building in public, so yeah, I welcome it. I don't know what effect it will have on the e-gold price. I stopped commenting about products and effect on prices since we launched our own token. We saw that our product was doing really well, but that didn't reflect in the price itself. So this is not something that I consider myself an expert in, and I think the e-gold price will go up when the altcoin season starts and all other prices go up. By how much it will go up based on this, that can be a speculation, but it's not my place to do so.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this. I will let my guest have their take about this. What impact on MultiversX, on the price, on the transaction, on the volume, on attracting builders, not just developers, but also guys like us with no code skills. What do you think about that, guys? Who wants to start? And it will be the last topic of this VibeOX part. Yes, Tikapo, let's go.
I think that's great, and that can finish by, doing a lot more daily active users on the chain, real active users, because people, by iterating and sharing some idea, building communities, and make some engagement to let them use their tool and so on, will bring attention. And also, let's say, they will spread about the tech of MultiversX by using it. Even it's not built into MultiversX, because as what UNESCO said, you will be able to do cross-chain apps. So they will use the tool, and in fine, the main power of that is using the VibeOX tool as link magnets and have an incoming flow of new people interested on the vibe coding solution, on the building public movement. Try it, like they tried Lovable or Bold or so on. So that's a great move that can bring more attention, more users, more awareness, and for me, that's a big plus. Now we have to manage the communication around it, great, but by the way, that can be really useful for all the ecosystem, and the project are staying into MultiversX.
Thank you very much. Who wants to add anything? No, it's fine for you. No problem. Thank you very much, guys. I will spend some minutes with Mihai. Of course, if you want to stay, you're completely welcome. If you need to leave, no problem. And thank you very much for coming to speak about VibeOX. I think, UNESCO, you need to leave because you don't like Mihai.
No, Mia isn't the problem. You are the problem most of the time. And I think MultiversX is
good to hear, man. Thank you.
good about that. Everybody knows you're the problem. And you're the reason why the eagle is dumping. It's because of you, Jerem. So I would need to go.
because I sell all my EGLD. So of
Yeah.
course,
Yeah.
price is dumping. Okay, thank you very much, Unesco.
Bye-bye.
It was a pleasure
Thank
to
you.
have you again. Take care of
Thank
yourself.
you for welcoming me. Bye-bye. See you guys.
Bye
See you,
bye.
Mihai.
And I'm gonna jump off
Okay.
too, folks. But it's been an absolute blast. I'm still going to listen. I just have to run some errands. So anyway, looking forward to listening and have a fantastic
Bye,
day, everyone.
Joachim. Thank you for
You too.
coming.
Have a good day.
Same for me, guys. I will leave. I have a lot of work to do. Thank you for the invitation. Gigi for Nexus, following you guys. So you do a great job. And Sila, congrats for your 0 to 1 process. Now you are using the tools and be a part of the Vibe coding journey. So that's cool. Keep pushing. And see you later, guys.
See you later. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Tikapo. Take
Thanks.
care.
Yeah.
I will go as well. Need to do more building, but it was really cool talking about it. And see you
Always a
next time.
pleasure. Talk to you, Sila. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Everyone's leaving when I show up.
It's
Nah,
Thank
I'm
you.
just kidding.
bye, Sila. No, it's fine. It's fine. I wanted to have you just for me, so it's perfect.
Okay.
Thank you for taking the time to come. We've seen many progresses on AI Nexus. We can see also some, I don't know, like if we can speak about pivot, but you are surfing of on what's the community wants. So I think it's pretty interesting. Last time you came on the show, we were mainly speaking about the AI Nexus
Mobile.
initial project.
Yeah.
So the metaverse on which you
Yeah.
can prompt and insert different items. You can interact with many people on it, and now we mainly speaking about clones on
Yeah.
AI Nexus Twitter. So can you tell us about the progress, the evolution of the value proposition, or is it just temporary features, but the goal remain the same? Take the time to explain the evolution.
Yeah, that's a good question, a very valid one as well. Think of it as a two-in-one product, I think. The main value proposition remains the same, hence the countdown for today. No spoilers. The mobile app is still obviously our main vehicle, and we still have the same roadmap, the same ideals, trying to reach as many Web2 users through Google and Apple, and trying to onboard them through our app into MultiversX. I think basically, like most of what you guys were saying about VibeOX, it's pretty much like going into the same route, which I love. Like the more the merrier. It doesn't have to be us doing this, trying to convert Web2 to Web3. I think everyone should be trying to do this if possible. The Clone Machine app, however, came from an idea that I had actually on New Year's Eve, and I spent 2 hours just before midnight with one of my devs discussing this. So it was like end of 2024, like the last few hours, and we were like, listen, the mobile app is sort of like a 5-year business plan. It's really nice and it's really good for Web2 and for a traditional business, but Web3 guys don't have time for this. So let's build that. Let's continue doing that. But let's bring in some sort of a bonus app that's browser. It doesn't have any restriction. It's frictionless. It doesn't care about Google and Apple. It doesn't have to wait for them to approve or to, basically tell us what we can and we can't do in the app. That's how we came up with Clone Machine, and that has taken the spotlight a bit lately because that was the most active and building in public sort of approach. And as you guys have seen on our socials, if you've been following, that's the most instant gratification app that we could think of, in the sense that it's like a okay, let me just tell the premise to your listeners that don't know what it is. It's basically turn your profile picture into a 3D AI agent. And how it works is for now, it just works with Twitter. So we take your Twitter login, and you have two things on your Twitter. You have your profile picture, which we turn through a pretty complicated process into a 3D avatar. There are, I mean, GRM, you have your own as well in there, and I'll talk about the new feature about the Mortal Kombat thing in a second. But basically, it takes your profile picture, like your 2D profile picture, whatever it is, and it turns it into a 3D avatar. Like you see for the MultiversX's one is the pixelated robot. It turned it into a 3D pixelated robot. The GRM, we actually got this picture from you, but yeah, we turned you into a 3D avatar. We went for this slightly more cartoonish look because we didn't want, if we went for hyper-realism, it might look a bit cringe. Plus, I don't want, like, people want their funny version, their meme version of themselves as the avatar. That's why we went with this route. So the whole thing is it transforms your picture into a 3D avatar, which can then be deployed in multiple things. And it also reads your past 300 tweets, I think. And it creates sort of like a knowledge base and a personality based on your tweets. So GRM, for example, GRM's avatar will probably respond in something similar to how you, GRM, post on Twitter. If we did, Benny's avatar or Robert Sassu's avatar, which we did. So Robert responds in a more dev-oriented way, let's say, and it kind of depends on how your Twitter profile is. That kind of gives the personality of your avatar.
You made me very mean.
Man, listen, it's the AI. We don't have anything to do with it. It's the AI that decides. So whatever your Twitter says, that's what the AI interprets.
Oh my God. So I think my ex is very mean.
That's for you to decide. Listen, we're not judging anyone. We're just.
When I am on this page, how can I change the clone and choose another one? Where is it possible? Here, the house?
No, it's not in this version. So this is not like the mobile version where you dress up your avatar and you change things. Here we're basically generating a 3D mesh from the profile picture, so you won't be able to change your clothes in this version.
No. I'm not talking about the clothes. Sorry, I was talking about changing the clone.
Oh, the clone.
Choosing another one. So you need to go back to the home.
Yeah, the clone. Sorry, I understood clone.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, basically it's like sort of like I think of it as sort of like a YouTube. So each clone has a channel. So you need to go back to home and then. But now that you're saying this, we might feature some clones in this, so that you can easily access them, like featured clones or something. Basically, if you go to home and not familiar with the context. Benny wants to focus on
building.
Yeah, on building, which is, but I mean, again, these are not things that we tinker with. This is just what our AI fetches from the Twitter profile. So it's
very cool. It's very entertaining, and I heard that you recently released a new mode. Which is like Mortal Kombat.
You have it there. Yeah, you have it there. Basically, you pick the avatar and then you Mortal Kombat and you pick a 1v1. So basically, just choose whoever you want to.
Okay, so first I need to choose.
So you need to choose the avatar and then you go to
Mortal Kombat.
And then you'll have this list and then you pick whoever you want.
Let's pick with X Portal.
Right.
Great. And so now we can. So what are they? Okay. So I describe.
You give them the topic. You just give them talk about tomatoes.
Okay. So let me choose the topic I'll speak about with X Portal. Okay. When X Portal token. And
okay, it might not. Yeah, they might not have the information like this, but let's see. Let's see what happens.
Okay. So
Well,
they're okay.
maybe, obviously, since they haven't given any information regarding the token on their X profile, there's no way the AI, knows a lot.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe you can give it like a subject, like, just basically something that's debatable. But again, it's like a meme-ish approach. So don't expect like extremely precise information, or it's just whatever we could fetch from the tweets in the in the past 200 or 300 tweets. I don't remember what it is.
Oh,
So
okay. Maybe I was just mean during the last,
maybe it's just the last. Yeah.
because before I was so kind and unfortunately.
we missed those. We missed those. We haven't seen those. Oh, I mean, our AI hasn't seen them. So
Okay, sounds very good. Thank you very much. So yeah, I got the evolution and the opportunism in a good way of saying. When I speak about opportunism,
yeah.
it's not a bad thing. It's just you need to take opportunities. Just to be clear. But okay, you got this clone. So what's the reaction of the community, the AI community? First, are they do they like it? Are they maybe asking, okay, clones are good, but this is not why I bought the token.
Yeah,
I'm
of course.
participating to the launch pad and so on. So what's the reaction of the community? To be honest, I haven't seen anything on X, so that's why I'm asking.
I think like the reaction has been, and I will say like actually like 99 point something% positive. Because everyone sees it as it is. It's a meme-ish sort of thing of an approach that will complement the serious stuff that's about to come. I mean, when I say serious stuff, let's not forget AI Nexus as a whole is a game, so it's not that serious. But you understand what I'm saying. This is like a very in-your-face, or like, let's have fun, let's have some memes. I think it also complements well the direction that MultiversX has been taking lately, in the sense that we are heading as an ecosystem towards being more user-friendly. At least that's how it seems to me. Starting from 1 or 2 years ago, when I was looking at it, was like institutions and very serious projects and stuff like that. There was nothing about memes or accessibility. And now, with projects like ours, which hopefully will bring in some fresh users, with VibeOX, with this whole approach, I think it's a good market fit as well.
Okay. Let's speak frankly.
Yeah.
We are on crypto Web3. Okay,
Right.
These clones are just Web2. There is so correct me if I'm
Or not.
wrong.
Yeah. No,
Connection
you're right.
with blockchain or so on. So we can see many initiatives around AI agent. So do you plan to make these clones on chain in a
Yeah.
way or another?
Yeah. Absolutely. It's like also 90 something% done. The way the things that we want to do at first is initiate a self-serve dashboard. So for now, we've been making these clones sort of as a B2B approach, in the sense that, okay, we're talking with a project, we're asking for them if they want us to make a clone, we make it, we publish it on our website, and then they distribute it on their communities. That was the whole approach, to be honest, just to try and get visibility and just to try and get as many communities. And to be honest, we got like some very cool communities in even outside of Multiverse. We tried not to stay within Multiverse only. We went outside. We brought in Turbo, the meme coin. They were super happy about it and very supportive. SPX 6900, which is another pretty hot meme at the moment. And a couple of other ones, and we have some in discussion like Flowkey and a few others. So I think it was very well received from like the big player or the bigger players, and from outside of Multiverse, which was one of the goals. Like, we shouldn't address only MultiversX projects with this. I want this to be like, everyone can participate, and you don't even need to be a project. So we're working on the self-serve dashboard in which anyone can go in. There will be a small payment because we have costs, obviously, with all the LLMs and the image generation, 3D model generation, 3D model rigging that are involved. But anyone with a Twitter profile can create their own clone. That was the premise. That still is the premise. We just got a bit delayed in launching this because of numerous technical issues, which we solved. I'm hoping that by the end of June we can have this feature out in which anyone can create their own clone, basically. So that would allow anyone, let's say from your community, GRM, to go in, create their own clone. It won't be expensive, so no worries about that. And then engage in a Mortal Kombat with your clone. And then what the plan is, and I'll finish my thought process here. The plan is to roll out almost on a weekly or every 2 weeks to roll out different deployments for the clone. So for now, the clone can do two things: free chat, and since last week, on Thursday, I think we launched the Mortal Kombat thing. So now you can have another interaction. And we're working on things like there's a Battle Royale mini game in which your clone, not you, can participate against other clones in an obstacle course. And then they take decisions based on your X personality as well. Like in your case, for example, they would choose the more dangerous but faster route. And maybe Robert's clone would take the safer but less dangerous route. Something like that. We're still tweaking this, but that's the whole idea. We also have the AI intern project that we're working, in which the clone itself can be fed a knowledge base, not just what it sees on Twitter, but just give it like white papers, just actually make it smart. Right now, it's like a meme based on your Twitter, but for example, we actually tested this on the X Portal and X Exchange, I think, and on AI Nexus. These three clones, I think, have the enhanced brain, in which we fed them PDFs and stuff like that. So if you ask our clone about our tokenomics and stuff like that, they will know how to answer, even though this is not the information present on our Twitter profile. So we have this, and then the ultimate goal would be, if things go well and we see a lot of traction, to sort of like do clone GTA 6 open world, in which you release your clone and you watch it do stuff. So it's like a big brother. So you don't control it. Obviously, it would be very easy for us to give you controls, but that's not the point. The point is, how does your Twitter profile and personality derived from it behave in a virtual world with others? Your clone, if we set it in a 3D environment with maybe some weapons, maybe some cars, and then there's Benny there, or there's what would your clone do? It's not what you would do. It's what your clone would do. Would it be friends with people? Would it steal their car? What would it do? So that's kind of like
it's entertaining. It's fun, but in 2025, and it was the case last year, and maybe it has always been the case in the internet, you get bored very fast.
For sure.
Speculation drives attention, drives adoption, and that's in Web3, in blockchain, in crypto, it has always been the same. So my point is are you thinking about linking, for example, AI agents, so investment, autonomous investment, meme coins, for example, because all what you do with clone is meme, because everything is a meme. It's fun, it's entertaining, and so on. So do you think to clone to link, these narratives, AI agents, meme coins, with the infrastructure that you built in 3D?
100%. Like the initial idea was to dedicate this to bringing AI agents to life through a 3D clone. But then we said, why limit ourselves to AI agents only? Let's go, anyone can become an AI agent, because initially we started with virtuals and Eliza OS agents, and our initial talks in January were, okay, let's build this, but for the agent owners. But then we decided, let's expand. Let's make everyone an agent owner in there, even if it's not agent in the sense that like the full Web3, my agent has a token, and let's drive attention towards it. but this will be part, like this was part of the unique selling proposition that I had in mind. Okay, let's say you have a virtual agent, right? You want to make money with it, right? How do you do that? You have a JPEG and an LLM behind it, but how about you have your virtual agent is competing against blockchains or other agents, or is talking to others, basically making allowing non-visual things to become visual. That was the thing. So yeah, to answer your question, any meme coin that's just a JPEG can become something that's interactive. Any existing AI agent, like AIXBT, we did the AIXBT in 3D form. We haven't spoken to the owner or anything like that, but just to, and it can do fun stuff, and it can bring more attention to these projects. That's the way we envisioned it. But then again, as I said, we went a step further and said, okay, but let's do this for everyone. Why can't everyone have their own agent, even if it's just for fun? And I 100% agree with what you said. Attention and instant gratification, these are the keywords. Like, and you need to bring new shit every day. Like, you can't go like, yeah, but we've built something cool 6 months ago. Are you still not entertained? No, they're not entertained. Everyone wants something fresh now. That's why we're building in public. That's why we're rolling out features on the Clone Machine app, trying to do so like every 1 or 2 weeks. Maybe like we have one. I think you'll like that one. It's like a roast master where your clone roasts your followers, and just funny stuff like this. Which you'll get bored after 30 minutes, but then we have another feature. Try this one. You'll get bored of that one as well, but then we'll come up with something new. So that's what we're trying to do. And you've probably seen on our socials, we've been super active in the past few months, like onboarding projects, encouraging interactions. You can create, like for example, your followers, if they interact with your clone right now on our website, at the end of the interaction, I think it's like 5 or 10 interactions, they get the report card. How big of a GRM fan are you? And we base the interactions and their questions towards your clone, and we score them. I mean, not we, the AI that we set up scores. So I think we're just trying to make everything as viral and as instant as possible, and going the route of browser, no login, no download. I think that was a smart move, because no one wants to spend even a minute downloading something, because then they'll only spend like another minute on the app itself. So everything needs to happen right now. So that was sort of like, to answer your initial question, AI Nexus, the mobile app, coming soon. I'm not gonna say when, but very soon. Start with demos.
Of course, we'll finish by this. What's up with AI Nexus, the initial project, we can say?
It's done. That's all I can say.
Thank you.
It's done. It's coming sooner than you expect. Apple and Google have been friendlies after all. We had a few issues. They don't like the Web3 integrations that much. We had a couple of things that we needed to convince them of and stuff like that. But yeah, that's coming, and we'll try to stick to our roadmap and keep Clone Machine as an additional bonus app, let's say. And we will link the two together, by the way. So they're not like, I'm trying this and I'm trying this. We're trying two different approaches, but they will be linked together. So we want to allow your clone to be used as a playable character in the AI Nexus mobile app after you create it, just to bring it even more value, to give it more value. So that's coming. I can't really say anything very specific, but by the end of the day, you might see it on our socials.
Okay, sounds very good. Can't wait. Thank you very much, Mihai, for coming.
Always a pleasure.
You're always welcome on GM Web3. And keep it up, keep building, and keep clone everyone.
I will, don't worry. And you guys just use our product, have some fun with it. Share any ideas that you have. You've shared a couple of ideas with me. They're on the to-do list, by the way. Those were good ideas. We'll implement as many as we can as we go along.
But there's a problem.
Yeah, please.
There's a big problem. Where is your clone?
I mean, I'm not a public personality like you guys, so I don't have one. When I'll get famous, I'll have my own clone. But for now, I need to stay in the shadows and build. Yeah, it's all good.
Saying in a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much, Mihai.
Thank you so much.
See you very soon.
Have an excellent day, and have an excellent day, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
This show is over. I hope you enjoyed it. Of course, don't forget to engage with our socials on the YouTube, on Twitch, on X. For of course, I would like to thank, of course, EAPS, the second sponsor of GM Web3. Thank you very much, and good luck for your launch on Solana. A very new collection of 3,333 new NFTs are launching on Solana. You can check their socials in description of YouTube and of course podcast, and you can see the first artworks of this new collection. Great collection, great art, and yeah, thank you very much for your support, EAPS. Thank you very much, and see you next Wednesday for a new GM Web3 dedicated to MultiversX. And for the French-speaking guy, see you on Friday for a new GM Web3 with new guests, new news, new analysis. Thank you very much, and take care of yourself.